Donald Trump's Secretary of State Marco Rubio declared that Trump is the only leader capable of bringing peace between Russia and Ukraine after U.S. officials met with Russian representatives in Saudi Arabia. But let's be honest. Any president could broker peace if they're willing to throw Ukraine under the bus. Peace isn't hard to achieve when you concede to an aggressor's demands. The hard part is standing up for what's right. Rubio, along with National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, sat down with Russia's Sergei Lavrov and Putin aide Yuri Ushakov in Riyadh. Noticeably absent, Ukraine. Because why invite the country actually being invaded when you're making decisions about its future? Rubio proudly announced 4 key principles from the talks. First, reopening diplomatic missions between the U.S. and Russia. Because apparently restoring pleasantries with a regime that illegally annexed Crimea and launched a full-scale invasion is priority number 1. Second, appointing a high-level U.S. negotiation team. Great. More officials to sit at the table while Ukraine watches from the sidelines. Third, discussing geopolitical and economic cooperation with Moscow. Nothing screams peace like cozying up to a dictator. And fourth, ensuring that the same 5 U.S. and Russian officials remain engaged in the process. What could go wrong when the fox helps design the henhouse's security system? Rubio praised Trump as the only leader capable of this peace process. But let's not kid ourselves. If peace means letting Putin keep stolen Ukrainian land, that's not peace. That's a fire sale on democracy, and the price tag is Ukraine's sovereignty. Waltz highlighted that discussions will cover territorial concessions and security guarantees. Translation: Ukraine's borders are on the bargaining table, but Ukraine isn't. Zelensky has already made it clear that Ukraine won't accept Russia's ultimatums. But in Trump's world, why let minor details like the consent of the invaded country get in the way of a photo op with Putin? Let's not forget that Trump has never hidden his admiration for authoritarian leaders. His bromance with Kim Jong-un, his private meetings with Putin, and now this peace effort that sounds suspiciously like appeasement. Rubio's claim that everyone involved must be okay with the outcome rings hollow when the most important party, Ukraine, is being left out. It's like negotiating the sale of someone else's house while they're still living in it. Meanwhile, European leaders, led by Emmanuel Macron, are calling for a peace that actually respects Ukraine's sovereignty. Imagine that. The Europeans seem more concerned about defending Ukraine than the American president who once claimed he would be tough on Russia. Macron and other European leaders have made it clear that peace can only be achieved if Russia ends its aggression and Ukraine receives strong security guarantees. But Trump seems more interested in avoiding a meat grinder war than ensuring Ukraine's survival. Because why protect democracy when you can negotiate it away? So is Trump really the only leader who can achieve peace? Sure, if your definition of peace is giving Putin exactly what he wants. Conceding territory for temporary calm isn't diplomacy, it's surrender with better PR. And history hasn't been kind to those who chose appeasement over principle. Just ask Neville Chamberlain how that worked out. Let's be clear, any president could achieve peace if they're willing to sacrifice Ukraine. But real leadership means standing up to bullies, not handing them the keys. If Trump's idea of peace is making Putin comfortable, then maybe it's time we ask who Trump is really working for, the American people or the man in the Kremlin? Donald